Okay, so I've had some comments asking me if I got new tires on my 4230. Yes, I did. I didn't videotape it because there's only so many tire changing videos that people would want to see. But these are 18.4 R38 radials by Firestone. Now, if you see the front tires on here, those came with the mower. They're Carlisle tires. And the tires that were on, the 3-rib front tires that were on there, they were pretty well shot, and I had ordered new tires when I bought the ones on the back. So I just threw these on here just for the fun of it to see how it would work. And turns out that Cody's the one that runs this tractor most of the time. He loves them. He thinks they're great. So I kind of left them on there, but I do have new tires coming. Now, the other day I got a, you saw me working on my sawmill and stuff. Well, the other day I got a whole bunch of logs dropped off here. They look like crap, they've been sitting around. Most of them are spruce, I guess, and white pine. So that's what they told me what they were, but whatever. I'm going to cut them all up into 3/4 inch boards or probably 7/8 inch boards, I don't know, and for siding for a building that I'm going to build. So you'll see that coming. Yeah, and I also have the mower. I said that Dad had broke the mower in, I believe, the last video. You guys are a little rough on him, telling me that Dad ought to need to go to, time for Dad to go to Florida, You ain't getting my father to go to Florida. In the first place, he doesn't want to go. Second place, it wasn't his fault. And I'm going to tell you why. There's several farms that we do that have this wonderful grass called reed canary. Reed canary grass. Well, reed canary grass, I think I did a video on it. It gets about 7 feet tall and it'll produce about 4 tons the acre the first cut. So, anyway, someone, and I'm not exactly sure who it was, I got a pretty good idea it was a neighbor over there, built a fire pit in the middle of the field. And they didn't build the fire pit out of like natural stone from the area, which is shale. They built it out of like Belgian block that was cut. They actually bought this block. And I'll show you that probably in a later video. But anyway, that block has done some severe damage to my machine. It actually blew the top cap, not the top cap, it blew the shock hub, which this shock hub was only a day old to begin with. I think it was this one, maybe it was this one. Took out just about every knife on the thing. Timothy put all new knives on except where he could flip them. Yeah, so he did that, ended up losing a few of the guards. And as you can see, probably maybe you can see, I'm not sure, it is bent down. The backbone of this thing got bent down from the block. So, I haven't seen any damage on the rolls or anything, but it took out two of those top caps, or 2 of those shock hubs, and this one here is okay. These are okay, but it's got all new knives on it. It bent the auger. God, you're not going to be able to see that. It bent the auger, but I straightened that out with an adjustable wrench. You just kind of slide it over and then you bend it, and it bends it right. So as you can see here, some of this deflector stuff, these have gotten bent pretty good. But what I'm going to do with that spine in the back there is I'm probably just going to take a jack and then drop this thing on it and see what happens. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and replace the the shock hubs. Oh yeah, and it broke one of these. This is a cast iron gizmo. 1, 2 of them. And they're pretty easy to change, but let's see, where is it? I think it's this one here. It actually broke it off. You see that? Took a big old chunk out of her. So I'm going to replace that one while I'm at it. Yeah, so it really beat the hell out of it. Yeah, so yeah, that's it as far as this is concerned. Oh, I didn't have the shock hubs. I thought I did, but they were for the old machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what they consist of. A new hub, and then I'll show you me putting them in. just because I might have to put a light on it too because of the, yeah, I try to do this crap one-handed in a camera. You know, it's stupid, I got a tripod, but I don't use it too often. Yeah, so you crack this thing open, and this is the shock hub. Okay, now the old shear hubs, or the old hubs that you used to get for like the 1411, the original 1411s, and they had splines all the way around here, because John Deere actually had the original shock hub design, and they were not going to give it up to New Holland. So New Holland had to deal, you know, anybody that bought a New Holland had to deal with busted gearboxes and stuff. Now, the last machine that I got in 2008, that was the first year that New Holland could actually use the shock hub design without paying John Deere a hefty, you know, use fee for their patent. So anyways, the shock hub is just, all it consists of is these little teeth, instead of it being a completely spline shaft. And when you hit something really hard, instead of busting the shaft or the gearbox up, it just knocks off those little ears, or those little teeth. So it has two rings that are splined, okay? This is the top one, and this one here would be the bottom one. So it's kind of sandwiched between them, these two things. Now when you pull the other shock hub apart, this comes off obviously, and then you have this little guy here on the bottom. Well, you pry that up off of there, and that wipes all the broken little teeth out of the splines on the shaft, and then you're good to go. And then it comes with a new bolt, which you really should use. Do not use the old bolts because they loosen up for some reason. So it has a flat washer, goes on top of there, and it has a spring style washer. See, it's dished a little bit, which goes there, and then you crank the ever-loving stuffing out of that thing, and it's good to go. And then you bolt it all back together. So I will take that off of there, and I'll get back to you in a minute as I'm doing it. I might turn a light on though, so hold on. Okay, so here's the fun. Impact gun, 15/16. See how easy that was? Boom, throw them on the ground. Pull that off. As you can see, well, here's a tooth. There's a tooth. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but you can see that the splines are gone. See, there they are, just gone. Here's the little washer that came in there. So that one's junk. Consumables, I guess you would call them. So you get your screwdriver out, or your wrench, and you get a hold of this little guy here. And you really want to take them out of there pretty carefully, because any little metal debris that could get down in there could really cause you an ass ache later. So I kind of save those washers because they're carbon steel, and you can use them in other places other than where you are, or where they're supposed to be. So that's pretty much how simple this is. Got your bolts, your washer gizmo, and it doesn't matter where this goes. You can put it anywhere on here and just drop it on, because as long as you got the little teeth cleaned out of there, you're good to go. Now, the fun part, you want this thing to be where it belongs, perpendicular with the other ones. So your holes is all kind of got to line up for your turtle, and nope. I think that's some shit. It's not supposed to be like that. The old one was that way. So you want your holes to be in the right spot. And then that should just we're in the wrong spot again. There it is. There it is. Now to double check it, and what I do is to just kind of get everything in place, and then you find the turtle. You take the turtle, it isn't all messed up. You can see that the blade is really messed up from being hit. on that thing. We had rain last night, so that's what we got going on here. So you kind of clean it up the best you can and make sure it lines up the way it's supposed to. So let's get this one here where it belongs, and that one there should just be perfect. Okay, so we're good. This is how easy this is. We're going to hit that there, and then there you go. It's on. At least that one's on. Now, the top cap is on. Now you got to get your 3/4 inch here. And you get your hubcap type thing. Ooh. Put it on there. It takes a washer and a nut and a lot of clumsiness. Okay. Now what you got is just that's that. Done. So I got that one done. Now I'm just going to do that one over there, and I'll show you how to change out a knife real quick. Okay, so you missed out on changing knives. I had company, but it's no big deal. It's real simple, actually. You just take that bolt out. There's a grooved nut on the bottom side, and that holds the knife. You take the bolt out, drop the nut, replace the knife, put it back together. Voila, boom, done. I think I've showed you that before, but anyway, we are now repaired. Other than that sway in the belly, and I think I'm just going to get a jack under that and jack that back up, because that really pisses me off that that's busted like that over some scumbag leaving their fire pit out in the middle of a field. And Dad was pretty tore up about it. You know, these machines aren't cheap, as you know, you all know. Anybody that's in farming knows that agriculture is probably the most expensive lifestyle you can have. You know, Paris Hilton comes pretty close, but, you know, farming is quite the lifestyle. Anyways, yeah, I got a storm coming at me, so I kind of got to close this all up and get her inside here, shut my doors, and, yeah, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.